A fatal shooting at an airport leaves 2 dead in Oklahoma City.
2 people are in critical condition after a gym class stabbing.
President-elect Donald Trump ditches his press pool again. Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 16th, 2016. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Megan Judy.
And I'm Nina Amaden.
And I'm Tim Schmidt. It looks like that supermoon's still out in the sky. It's not as full as it was before.
No, it's not quite as bright.
It still has its brightness, though, or still has some of that brightness that you'd typically see with a full moon just because of its proximity. A couple of more nights of that, and then it'll start to wane away and then become its little crescent moon. And, well, we're going to be looking at some rain back in that forecast. That'll probably happen by Friday. Visibility is right now in the sky, a little low out over eastern Missouri. We may have some patchy fog develop this morning. And the temperatures outside a little warmer than the last couple of mornings. Currently 49 in Columbia. We're at 41 in Jefferson City, 42 at your Lake of the Ozarks. A lot of sunshine expected today and warmer temperatures. Once again, we'll get out of the lower and middle 40s. And up into the 60s to 70s this afternoon. I have high temperatures around 73 by 4 o'clock.
We're following the investigation on a deadly shooting at an airport in Oklahoma City Tuesday.
Police found the suspect dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound near the scene. Oklahoma City police say 52-year-old Michael Winchester, a Southwest Airlines employee, was shot while he was walking at the Will Rogers World Airport. The victim is the father of a Kansas City Chiefs player, James Winchester. Winchester died from injuries at a hospital. Police identified the suspect as Lloyd Bowie. Police found Bowie deceased in a pickup truck in a parking garage. This morning, investigators continue to look into an attack at a Utah school that injured 5 students, 2 of them critically. It happened at a high school of 1,300 students located about 40 miles south of Salt Lake City. According to police, a straight-A student pulled out a knife and started attacking other students only because they were, quote, nearby. The 16-year-old suspect reportedly stabbed himself in the neck before being tased by police.
Kansas City police are investigating 2 suspects who opened fire on police. Police say 2 men fired on 2 plainclothes police officers last night before officers returned fire. Police have taken 2 suspects into custody. No one was injured. If you see snow plows on the streets today, don't be shocked. KMUA's Louise Rodriguez is live to tell us what these trucks are doing to prepare for winter.
Columbia Public Works will hold its annual dry snow run later this afternoon. The purpose of the training is for drivers to review safety procedures and snow routes in order to be prepared when the first snow hits. The training comes during Missouri Winter Weather Awareness Day, and one city spokesperson told us it's all about being ready.
It's a good chance for the trucks to be around the city doing a dry run and just making sure they understand what their routes are and if there are any special conditions they want to look out for.
The drivers are told out to look for special conditions like cul-de-sacs, hills, and places with lots of cars parked. Tune in later today to KOMU News at 5 and 6 to see one of our reporters go along on a ride-along. Reporting live from Columbia, Luis Rodriguez, KOMU 8 News.
The men accused of trying to leave the U.S. to join ISIS are coming to terms with their fate and are apologizing after learning their sentence yesterday. The second day of sentencing ended with 3 suspects receiving a sentence of 10 or more years in prison. Suspect Hanad Moussay said, quote, "I was reckless and selfish. I would tell young ones to stay away from terrorism. Don't make the mistake I made. I am sorry."
Joe Biden will welcome Mike Pence today at the Vice President's official residence at the Naval Observatory. Pence spent Tuesday in transition meetings at Trump Tower. His wife Karen is expected to attend the luncheon as well. Pence, currently the governor of Indiana, will become the nation's vice president on January 20th. Former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton will make her first public appearance since the election tonight. Secretary Clinton last spoke a week ago after her devastating loss to President-elect Donald Trump. Tonight, the Children's Defense Fund will honor Clinton in Washington, D.C. The CDF calls Hillary Clinton a, quote, lifelong champion of children.
President-elect Donald Trump left Trump Tower and left his protective media pool behind Tuesday night. Trump dined unannounced with his family inside a New York City steakhouse, the 21 Club. The press was originally told earlier there would be no movement by the president-elect for the rest of the day, but a presidential-style motorcade was then seen leaving Trump Tower around 8 last night. The Mexican government is working on a plan to deal with possible mass deportations under President-elect Donald Trump. A Mexican presidential spokesman said deportations would be on the agenda of the discussion between the Mexican president and Trump. Trump campaigned on building a wall between the U.S. and Mexico and said he would deport millions of Mexicans without documents.
We've heard of hundreds of protesting against the North Dakota Access Pipeline, but pro-pipeline demonstrators are now speaking out.
A live look out over Lake of the Ozarks at 4:35. KOMU 8 News Today will be right back.
Live Doppler 8 First Alert weather.
All right, welcome back. It's 4:38 here on this Wednesday morning. It's a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport. It's brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Visibility's outside this morning, maybe a little low in a few spots, just given how settled the atmosphere is at this time. Currently, those right around 10 miles throughout much of the state, but out over the east, we may have a little bit of that reduced visibility. Temperatures right now, those continue to fall back into the lower 40s. 49 right now in Columbia, 41 in Jefferson City. We're at 42 there at your Lake of the Ozarks, and 46 out in Boonville and Moberly. Your temperature track here through the morning does have a little bit of a dip all the way down to about 45 degrees, maybe 44. Then a big warm up today, and it starts up the trend of warmer temperatures here for the middle part of this week. We're talking highs only, let's say right around 69 to 71 degrees. So a warm afternoon for us with a big open bubble of high pressure right over the midsection of the country. Hardly a cloud in the sky. You have to go well out to the west and north for any of that rainfall. So that's just how the pattern's going to be, at least for today and tomorrow. But Friday rolls around, we could be looking at some rain back in that forecast. Today's forecast, sunny skies. The warming trend begins. 73 will be that high temperature. That wind, it's going to be out of the south today at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So look for warmer conditions into this afternoon, and warm this evening too. We remain very mild outside. 56 will be your overnight low temperature with a clear sky, maybe a few little clouds here or there. I think most of us are going to stay dry tonight and very, very mild. As we head into your Thursday, well, warm temperatures. I have us up near 78 degrees. That could be tying some record numbers in mid-Missouri on a on Thursday with breezy conditions too. Thursday, those winds are going to be out of the south, 15 to 30 miles per hour. Yeah, 30 miles per hour. That wind is going to be moving tomorrow afternoon. And then it looks like into Friday, we'll have a chance for showers and thunderstorms in the morning, cooling off in the afternoon. Actually, the morning starts out probably in the upper 50s and lower 60s. The afternoon temperature falls down to about 53. By 4 and 5 o'clock, we could actually fall back into the 40s. Then into the weekend, cold weather spills back on in. We're going to be into the 40s with morning lows into the 20s in some spots. I have a Sunday morning as cool as 25 degrees. Looks like early next week we'll have a slight chance for rain Tuesday and Wednesday. And then finally, I'm able to put that little turkey icon in there. He's one of my favorites that we get to use.
That means happiness, right?
That means
Full
a lot
stomach.
of indulgence and happiness.
I cannot
and,
wait.
It's going to be great, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Many high school families might not be thinking about college forms yet, but families do have the opportunity to get help in filing out one of the most complicated forms, the FAFSA. KMUH's Tyler Emery is live at Hickman High School to tell us more about the helpful event the state's offering.
The Missouri Department of Higher Education held these FAFSA Frenzy events in cities all across the state. One was held here last night at Hickman High School. These FAFSA Frenzy events are held to help high school junior and seniors fill out financial aid forms with guidance from a financial aid expert. Students and parents come in with the necessary forms to work on completing the FAFSA form. This year is a little different than in years past because FAFSA is now open in October versus January.
It has become much easier to navigate and fill out than it used to be. So some families can do it on their own, but this event just is there for those that want the help.
One of the financial aid experts that I spoke with last night said that this event is also beneficial just to get students and parents sitting together talking about financial planning for college. If you would like to go to a FAFSA event, there's another one held in Columbia tonight at Battle High School from 5 to 7 p.m. Reporting live in Columbia, I'm Tyler Emery, KMUH News.
More than 500 jobs will open up in St. Louis starting in 2017, thanks to Boeing. The company says this decision comes from its desire to be more efficient in its defense, space, and security unit operations. Missouri is already home to more than 15,000 Boeing employees. A longtime columnist for the Kansas City Star has died. C.W. Goosewell joined the Star in 1955 as a general assignment reporter and went on to become a foreign editor and then later a columnist. The Missouri Press Association named him a Daily Columnist of the Year in 1984, 85, and 87. He wrote 21 books and continued to write his weekly column for the Star until earlier this year.
Right now, Governor Nixon is gearing up for another trip where he'll lead an international trade delegation. During his time in office, the governor has visited 14 countries. This week, he'll add the United Arab Emirates to the list when he visits the bustling metropolis of Dubai. Joining him will be other business owners for an in-person experience to market themselves.
He's opening the doors for Missouri businesses that are also on the delegation to shake hands with, hopefully, their future customers.
The Show Me State is on track to set a record this year for exports. As of September, the state generated some $10.6 billion in export revenue. Missouri's minimum wage will rise by a nickel when the new year begins. The state labor department says the minimum wage will rise from $7.65 an hour to $7.70 an hour. Missouri's minimum wage has gradually risen, but has been at $7.65 for the past 2 years.
Tuesday marked a day of nationwide protests over the controversial Dakota Access Pipeline. In the nation's capital, people gathered to protest the pipeline, which is currently being constructed between North Dakota and Illinois. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe has strongly opposed, citing environmental concerns. Former presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders came out to speak.
We are not going to allow a pipeline to endanger the clean water that millions of people depend upon.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has delayed construction to hold more discussions with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. The protests have been ongoing for months. There have been dozens of Dakota Access Pipeline protests since mid-August, but the demonstrations were a bit different yesterday. Along with the anti-pipeline protesters, on the other side of the street, there were pro-pipeline protesters. Both sides seemed to respect each other's rights, but the two groups did not reach common ground on the issue.
After investigating a reported hazing incident, MU will not recognize the Kappa Alpha Order as a student organization for the next 5 years. University officials found the fraternity in violation of several standards of conduct. The organization will no longer be able to participate in any campus activities or social events, such as homecoming. One MU official says the university will take significant action if any safety concerns happen.
The safety of our campus is our #1 priority, and we expect all student organizations to uphold our values of respect, responsibility, discovery, and excellence.
The action will not affect individual students' abilities to attend classes and continue their academic progress this semester.
Snapchat continues to increase its net worth, and this could mean more money for you in the future.
After the break, we'll tell you how you can make this happen.
Taking a sick day from school can lead to a whole lot of makeup work, but one school in Virginia has a way to fix that. That's coming up.